You know, if there's one mantra I've taken to heart during this pandemic, besides the badder the banana, the better the bread, it's be prepared. Like, I'd be nowhere right now without the army of Boy Scouts I trapped in my woodshed who taught me that motto. Well, how do you think all that wood got chopped? Don't call their parents, they're fine. Clearly, though, the Trump administration was not prepared for COVID-19. And to find out what exactly went wrong and why, Mike Rubens talked to journalist, author, and noted historian of the What the Happened Here genre, Michael Lewis.
As Trump has said, the coronavirus came out of nowhere.
It's an unforeseen problem. What a problem. This is a very unforeseen thing. There's never been a thing like this in the history of the world. There's something that just surprised the whole world.
Yep, the whole world. Except the U.S. intelligence community, the CDC, the Pentagon, Trump's own freaky trade advisor, and about 1,000 movies, including 2 starring Brad Pitt.
The idea that this kind of came out of the blue is insane.
The pandemic and the terrible response didn't surprise author Michael Lewis. His most recent book tells how Team Trump bungled the transition from Team Obama. But its true message is, this is what happens when dum-dums who don't give a shit are put in charge of the most complicated, important tasks in the world.
It's a fair description.
Oh, thank you, Michael Lewis. To learn more, I purchased a plant and sat down remotely with Lewis to ask, what does happen?
Tens of thousands of people are going to die because they did not bother to learn about how the Obama administration prepared for a pandemic.
Yeah, that's what happens. But why? Let's go back. Back before Trump unleashed the tiny failure kraken. Back before he gutted the pandemic response team and other smart efforts to track and fight diseases. Back to this moment. This combination of world's worst first date and double hostage video. Here, outgoing President Obama promises to
facilitate a transition that ensures our president-elect is successful.
Stirring words. They shake hands. Ugh.
The pandemic starts with this moment.
Yes. Well, no, not because of the handshake. Hashtag social distancing, hashtag never touch Donald Trump. The original sin was this.
Barack Obama's administration has put 1,000 people on the job for 6 months to prepare briefings for the Trump people. And the idea is the day after the election, hundreds of people from the Trump campaign are supposed to roll in and learn things from like how you run the nuclear arsenal, or how you run the weather service, or how you prepare for a pandemic. And Trump fired his transition team right then, and nobody ever went and got those briefings.
Yes, the massive USDA, the Department of Commerce, the Department of Energy, which manages our nuclear weapons. People just didn't show up. Well, okay, they didn't skip every briefing. For example,
this meeting that had been staged between outgoing Obama cabinet officers and incoming Trump cabinet officers, where they played a little tabletop game where they prepared for a pandemic. And during this game, Wilbur Ross, incoming Secretary of Commerce, fell asleep, was snoring.
You see, Donald, Ross doesn't just fall asleep when you're talking, he also does it when it's important. To simplify things, the Obama administration even prepared a pandemic playbook, also apparently ignored. But again, why?
Is this just more of a failure not to have cloned Jared enough times?
You know, it's funny. One answer is knowledge makes life complicated. If you've got some very simplistic view of the world, the government's all stupid. It's all a bunch of poorly paid bureaucrats. I don't need to pay any attention to them. It's easier to move through the world if you aren't bothered by lots of knowledge. And I do think of Donald Trump as the ultimate expression of the desire to remain ignorant.
The mindless menace of the coronavirus didn't come out of nowhere, but neither did this mindless menace.
I don't think of Donald Trump as like a break with the past so much as the natural conclusion of 40 years of Republican rhetoric about the federal government.
Yes, let's rewind further to when we had a president with a more dignified background, and to this famous quote from him.
The 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, "I'm from the government and I'm here to help."
Really? Worse than, can anyone here on this airplane fly this airplane? Or, hey, everyone, please come to my improv show tonight. Fast forward, CPAC 2017. A gloating Steve Bannon describes the goal that is now within reach.
Deconstruction of the administrative state. And if you...
Yay! You did it! And look where we are. Many agencies lack permanent leaders and or have unqualified leaders and or leaders who hate the very agency they're leading. Remember Mike Brown, the hapless horse show executive in charge of FEMA during Katrina? It feels like it's all Mike Browns now, all the way down. That means we're all less safe.
I've got a lot of sort of free-flowing terror and anxiety. Could you give me a concrete target to really worry about? What else should I be losing sleep over?
Well, how many nights do you want to lose sleep? I'll give you a short list. One, the National Weather Service, which actually keeps us safe from the weather, might actually be systematically disable terrorist attacks on the power grid in the country. The dollar, nuclear bombs that's now floating around in Eastern Europe. No bottom to a financial crisis.
A bit of advice.
Loose nuclear materials.
Don't ask Michael Lewis this sort of question if you don't want to know the answer.
Michael, is there any upside to all of this?
The hopeful thing here is that we bounce out of that, of this whole event, with the idea that the federal government is useless or pointless or a deep state or whatever nonsense you want to think. That idea just dies, or at least is severely damaged. Otherwise, we're all going to die.
Yes, so let's end with a reminder of what are actually the 9 most terrifying words in the English language. Don't worry, Jared Kushner is in charge of it.